What was it like entering, I guess, the WWF in the middle of the company being so hot?
It was really neat, so professional, very professional. It just blew me away. I was very happy when I got there.
What was your reaction in the locker room to you guys when you all came in together? Did the other guys take you in?
Yeah, I think we were the ones that were quiet. We didn't know how to act around them. Guys used to come to us and say, "Listen up, guys." We thought but we didn't know, man. We had our guards up. From where we came from, our guard was up all the time.
Right.
We didn't know if a person was smiling at us because he's saying, "Yeah, guys, I'm getting ready to get you," or something's happening, or "Hi," they really meant to smile. So our guard was up big time.
How much effect do you feel that you guys had jumping head on the downfall of WCW?
I don't know.
Do you think fans saw the product?
I don't know how to comment on that. I think if I were to comment on that, it'd be very boastful. I'd be very cocky. Let me speak for Dean and Chris, because I can't speak for myself. I don't like to talk. I don't like to boast of myself. Everything I have is from Christ, and I'm grateful to Christ for it. I can speak for, my opinion on Chris and Dean. My opinion on Chris and Dean and Perry is that they're workhorses. Nice, solid, strong workhorses. They bring a quality of wrestling to the show that not a lot of people have. Very few people have it. We create a doubt. They create a doubt. Whether it's real, what hurts, what doesn't.
Right.
And that's what a Chris Benoit brings to an organization. That's what a Dean Malenko brings to an organization. That's what a Perry Saturn brings to an organization. Guys like that. And there's very few and very selective. You have a lot of guys there with a lot of talent, but there's very few guys that have that whole package in there.
Now, were you surprised that WCW eventually went out of business, or did you see it coming?
I never thought they'd go out of business. I thought it would get down for a while, but I never thought they'd go out of business the way they did.
What are your memories of your six-man tag at WrestleMania 2000?
Just excited. Another dream come true. Never thought I'd be in a WrestleMania. I was in a WrestleMania.
Was there anybody at the time you think trying to hold you guys back when you came in?
I can't really comment on that because we were so new.
Right.
I really, if Vince wants to push somebody, he pushes them, no matter what the politics are. That's what I believe, unless I see it different.
What are your thoughts on them pairing Chyna with you?
I thought it was great, and I know it did me a lot of good. Yeah, with all the exposure she has, and we had good chemistry together, real good chemistry. It just worked, it was there. They saw it, they took advantage. I thought they were great.
What was she like to work with?
I didn't understand her, but now that I've been going through my own personal problems, I can understand her more. I wish I could have understood her back then. At first, it was really neat and a lot of fun. All the way up towards the end where we broke up.
Right.
They had this kid break up. There towards the end, it was really hard because she was going through a lot of personal things, and I know that it was taking a toll on her work, like it did with me. It took a toll on her work. Not that her work ethic or work became bad, but the attitude that it was just hard to. She was mad at the world, and I was part of the world, and it was hard because I like her so much, and I know what a great person she was. It was hard for me to have her mad. Not that she was mad at me, but just mad all the time. It was hard to work with that style. You know what I mean?
Right.
I understand that now because I've gone through it and I'm going through it. But I couldn't back then.
Do you think that the rumors that Chyna was difficult to work with toward the end of her WWF stay were true?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Like I said, there was. She didn't just get big-headed. There was a lot more behind it, and that's what a lot of people don't realize.
Did you like the Latino Heat gimmick and the Mamacita gimmick?
Oh yeah.
And who came up with it? Obviously, The Office. Yeah.
Yep. That one was mine. That Latino Heat I kind of got from the Birdcage, that movie, The Birdcage.
With Burt Reynolds.
No, the Robin Williams.
Okay.
The Birdcage and the guy that serves. He was like the housemaid.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And he would trip over his feet, and he couldn't wear shoes well. He was asking Robin Williams why he wasn't on the show. Robin says, "Well, your singing sucks, this and this sucks." He goes, "That's not true. You're just afraid of my Guatemalan heat." So instead of saying Guatemalan heat, I just took Latino heat, and I did it in an interview when we were getting ready for the Wrestlemania.
Right.
With Chyna. I did it in an interview in Texas, I remember, and it got a hellacious pop. Yeah, because I said, I know what it is. You're just scared of my Latino heat, baby. And
right.
Boom! It got a big pop, and the Office got it and ran with it. And the mamacita, man, that's a regular word that all the Latinos use,
right.
Especially Chicanos. See a good-looking babe, mamacita. Check it out.
Vince McMahon. What were your initial impressions of Vince?
Vince is a professional. He's a businessman, 100%. I got nothing to say bad of the man. He even though they let me go, but that was my doing. You got to realize one thing. That was my doing. It's not like I went and I planned it. I said, I'm going to go get a DUI after rehab.
Right.
I didn't do that.
I'm going to ask you about that, actually.
Go ahead. Ask some questions.
We'll get up to that in a second. Do you think anything with Chyna ever went too far? Like when you caught in the shower with the Godfather's hose?
No, because it was the breakup. I thought that was kind of funny.
Did you enjoy taking part in the skits, or would you rather stick to straight edge wrestling? Or did you like the vignettes and stuff?
I was feeling the skits. That was a character that really got into Latino Heat. So it was getting a lot of good reviews. You could say good PR. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that.
Now you're working with Chris Benoit here in the World Wrestling Federation. What was that like?
Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, sheesh. That is my brother. I love that. I love working with Chris. Against him, with him, anything. Chris he's like Liger. Works for the match, not for himself. Well, see, what a lot of guys don't realize is by working for the match, you're making yourself even that much better.